Hey everyone, how's it going today? Lamoura here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. We are here to start patch 2.3, Defenders of Eorzea, and in order to do that we need to talk to Minfilia and start the Great Divide. Minfilia's thoughts keep returning to the fate of the students of Baldessian. Our friends, the very Isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. Urianger will send word if there are any other developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which had previously attributed to good King Mughal Mug the 12th. I can always fuck that up, guaranteed. That the king is no more is the blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the Twelves Wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Asilia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Ul'dah this time, are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are in the seventh heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhaps this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Asilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread, and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Nia, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. So more people have come to us looking for asylum. Well, we're gonna have to listen to their pleas and their woes before we make a decision. Alright, before we get too much further though, let's just make sure that we do our daily things here. Unfortunately, you can't do it within the solar, so let's just get our boiled eggs for our XP rocking. That's 1 and 2. And then let's hit our... Oh, we can't even use the minion in here, so we'll have to exit the Revenant's Toll once that happens. Actually, the thing is, 7th Heaven is where? That's outside. That is... once we get out to Revenant's Toll. That's the main bar area. Okay. It's honestly something good to remember, I just never really seem to. So there's our guy, the draggle-tailed refugee. So now that we're out here, let's just hit our minion roulette, see who we get today. And thanks, guy, for appearing right there. We got Owlette. Lord have mercy, the second he appeared, it's like I summoned him as our minion. Come, minion, do my bidding. Alright, let's talk to this dragon-tailed refugee. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the 7th Dawn. 12 be praised, it is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task, and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dah for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the ones that got took. They say that there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was, where? And then it came to me. Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Domin's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we have nowhere to go. You're turning our back on us. If I might have a word. Tataru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Ul'dah, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. Seven hells. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady. We are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, I always forget how to pronounce it, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How could you be so blind? Find Alphino, and quickly. If he's in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. It is always shocking to see the height difference, and it is so hot. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we are discussing earlier. Yida and Papalimo will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Nia. I will be there post-haste. Our good old boy Alphino is in trouble, and I will make sure that he is heard. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'll make sure that I'll be there in his time of need. Alright, so let's go to Ul'dah. Fast travel there. Oh, that's a pretty cool helmet. It looks like a Thor helmet. Alright, and then I assume he'll be in the same place that he always is, so we'll just sprint there, because there's really no Aetheryte that's close to it. I guess you could go to the Adventurer Guild one, but it's kind of like, by the time you sit through, click through the Aetheryte, go through the loading screen, you're pretty much would have been able to run here anyways. Sometimes it's more beneficial just to take the long way around. Alright, there we go. He's standing just fine. This dude looks perfect in health.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers, while more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the Monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Well, things seem rather dire when you put it like that. Let's see. Desperate times, though. Alfino wishes to investigate the circumstances surrounding the riot. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reasons to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of the Flames. I would hear what General Rauban has to say upon the matter. Well, I have to assume that the man himself would have some words. He has to have an opinion. He always does. I mean, he's the man around here, you know? If people were to look up to anybody, it would be him. Oh, so many unlocked quests, but nothing that I want to do now. A lot of them just unlock hard mode dungeons, which I'm not really excited to do on this character. Really no reason to do it on this character, I should say. Now is not a good time, Nia. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alfino, back on your feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your regions? Sure. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of the refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Ul'dan citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Dolmens were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the Immortal Flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this power keg of disconnect was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The general is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without any necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarist would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Nia. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at the request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Boy, you know you ain't gonna find shit. You know it's all gonna be left up to me. Anyways, oh, I think this person's on the same quest we are. Yeah, you even have the Omni one. Cool. You look as though you have something to say, Nia, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words, and an able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin speaking with, to the Blades posted there. Okay, let's see. Lost Hope. Where the heck is that? Black Brush Station. That's where we're reporting to. Alright, let's get this done with. Alright, and if we face about this way, we should be good to go. So let's get on a mount here. Fat Chocobo, welcome to the episode. And I think it's right up over here. Oh yeah, that's an encampment if I ever done seen one. Speak with the Brass Blades. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Let's talk with Leofric. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take that this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I am increasingly concerned about Zazawak's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest of what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawak. Zazawaka? Sure, Zazawaka. He will explain everything. And then what about you? I think that's a lady. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well then, you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Merchant fellow, huh? Looks like there's someone deeper inside through here. Fat Chocobo, welcome back to the episode. My dude, wasn't expecting to see you so soon. But I will fully accept it. There it is, Zazawaka. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon? You're not a flame? I see. If Leofric bade you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that. Because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic's spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and person just came flying in. Revolution and retribution of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look beyond yonder tent, and you will understand why. Even now, he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I had no doubt the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. I don't know where that voice came from, but that's what we chose to do. Terrified refugee. What are you doing? Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Why don't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Alright, so let's see if we can soothe this gentleman. Who are you? What do you want? It's true. I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates, I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into 2 groups, set us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and then the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group! They were still out there. If we don't stop them, they may be massacred like mine was. Well, don't you worry, my dude. I'm gonna see if I can stop it. Any of these actually good? No, none of these, at least for now, are for my class, so we'll take the silver pieces. Shock and awe. The terrified refugee would have you find his brethren and convince them to lay down their arms. The other refugees are hiding in the cave south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only he had never listened to that. If only we had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though, if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhaps then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Okay. I mean, you're speaking my language. You just telling me I had to beat down some fools? I'm all about it. So if I'm not mistaken, we need to go down over here. There's a little red circle, as you can see, on the map. Let's see if we can get over this rock. Our worst adversary so far. And I just gotta best the twins in combat? Psh, easy. And there's nothing really crazy difficult in here. Everything's like level 10 right now. I'm sure it would have been hard in the earlier stages of a class that starts in Ul'dah, but since we are level 57, I don't need to worry. 7 hells, they found us. Everybody grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint ye, lass, but we're more than willing to kill ye ourselves. So you say, but I am going to wreck you. Alright, there's 2. Let's just do this until we need to actually worry about anything here. We'll start using Art of War right after this one, just to take down the 2, get the extra damage. Oh, dude, the Art of War just massacred that dude. I love to see it. Truly I do. Alright, he should go down. Oh, he wasn't down just yet. Alright, we'll kill him like that. I am going to make sure that I summon Celine, and then I'm going to summon Momo as well. Kind of forgot that they weren't here. So let's just get our bios and whatnot out on everybody. They're actually running in, so we can actually use Art of War now here, which is perfect. Exactly why we have it in the first place, for multi-attacks. Easy peasy. Don't help me with my quest. It's my quest. Alright, let's go over to these 2 goobers. Before this guy activates his quest, and the problem is, yeah, other guys are now being spawned in. I'm not really going to help him. I have my own things to be doing. If it really comes down to it, looks like he's struggling or whatever it may be, I may give him a quick hand, but he's a DPS class, he really shouldn't need any help. Shouldn't need any help at all. Okay, I think that's about it, so I can now go and talk to this desperate refugee. You beat him like it was nothing. Oh, almighty, what are we gonna do now? Alright, speak with the desperate refugee is now complete. That means I can leave this dingy little cave, leave that samurai to his own little devices, and go back. I don't know who exactly. Speak with the terrified refugee. That's who I'm going to talk to. Hopefully now he'll be a little less terrified and live through the PTSD that he had to witness. Or go through? I guess you wouldn't witness PTSD, but you would go through PTSD. He had to witness all his comrades being murdered, so there's that. That would cause PTSD. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to the south stone throws to recruit others. As I recall, he wished to approach the refugees there as well, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity, and now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead to his ruin. Lead us to ruin. Whatever. It all means the same thing. Alright, where do we need to go for this one? Stone's Throw. That's... okay, it's a journey, but it's not terribly far away. It's not on like another part of the map that requires a loading screen or anything of that nature, or fast travel through Aetheryte. I don't mind taking a little bit of a journey. This isn't so bad, honestly, and there's... I don't know what I could do otherwise. It's not like there's an Aetheryte that I could port to that would make it quicker. We're doing okay on our gear. I just want to be sure before we go too far. Sometimes I do like roulettes and whatnot. For the duty finder, you see things that need a healer or whatnot. Let's just unclick that. I don't want to queue into it at any point. Okay, fate discovered nearby. If I was to get the local map, we have two actually that are very close to us. I'm not going to do them. I would rather quickly go through the main story. We're getting to that point where I'm catching up to the Heavensward content, but still not entirely close. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left me with a man from Ul'dah. The man said they were gonna change everything. Make it so we could live inside the walls with everybody else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Lots of people left with the man after that, but no one came back. Uh-oh. Well, that doesn't sound too good. Alright. Looks like we need to go inside and figure out what's going on here. Swift may have some answers for us, or we may just need to report the situation as it's been developing so far. Alright, let's continue in. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a hike here, and you can't bring a mountain. Ah, there's the music. I was getting a little worried. It was too quiet. I didn't quite like it. The Ul'dah music is so peaceful and calming. I love it. I truly do. Most of the music in this game is relatively good. Not all of them are bangers, but there are a good few amount of songs in this game that... Wow, look at that guy. Is that Final Fantasy like 2 or 3? That's cool. Welcome back, Nia. Have you learned aught of interest? You persuaded a gang of refugees to lay down their arms. The Flame General will be pleased to learn of this. Less so, these other revelations, we must apprehend this treasonous snake at once. That I agree with you, Swift. But we must reap the whirlwind. What are these? Daystar earrings? Okay, so it goes with my other stuff. Okay, I get it. We'll get these silver pieces because none of this is really as good if we check our item levels. As you can see, I have a 125, which is clearly better than anything we could get from that. So we'll get the silver pieces. Anyways, Swift is determined to stop the rabble-rousing merchant from sowing further sedation. Or sowing. Sowing. This merchant has not only publicly incited sedation within our sultanate, but gone so far as to provide material support that to would-be belligerents. It galls me that his role in the uprising should have escaped our notice for so long. I can well imagine why it... What the heck was that hammer? I can well imagine why it did. Rightly or wrongly, those with whom he consorts do not trust us. Alas, trust is not easily gained, even in times of peace. We must nevertheless try, for I believe it is only with the cooperation of the refugees that we will catch our quarry, and so I would have you continue your investigation in Pearl Lane. We know that the merchant sought to recruit the people of Lost Hope and Stone Throw, so it seems reasonable to assume that he may have approached the residents of Pearl Lane as well. After all, the first riots occurred within the city itself. Most, if not all, will refuse to discuss the subject with you, but there is none who may be willing to do so. But there is one who may be willing to do so. A man named Landerbert. He too has had his misgivings about us, but I believe he understands that these riots do little to further his people's cause. Alright, so we need to go to Pearl Lane, which looks like if we go to the Avenue Exchange, we'll actually be able to port there a little bit faster than walking. And if that's the case, I don't mind doing it. Alright, so the Avenue Exchange. There it is. Okay. I need to turn around, and the person I need to talk to should be right up over here. And you are, Landebert. Tell me your troubles. First comes a man with promises of deliverance, seeing your suffering firsthand, and will bear it no longer, says he. Your friend, your ally, your comrade in arms. Take his hand, and he will guide you to a better tomorrow. Then comes a soldier with promises of justice, following the man who came before you at your peril, he says. Follow the man who came before at your peril, says she, for they who sow the wind shall reap the whirlwind. The man's no saint, any fool can see that. We were but tools for his task, to be used and discarded. As for this soldier, she thinks only of her mission. She's more honest than the man, but every bit as ruthless, make no mistake. With whom shall I cast my lot? Neither, says I. Far as I'm concerned, you're no better than the bastard you pursue. Now the soldier is thinking how else she might get what she wants. She's tried the diplomatic approach and failed. Mayhaps a firmer hand is needed. Mayhaps she needs to make an example out of this Alamegan scum like she did those 5 fools from Lost Hope. Well, you'll get no justification from me, soldier, if that's what you're waiting for. I'll not raise a hand against you. But neither will I lend a hand to help you. Not that it makes any difference. Pah! The gods seem bent on granting your every bloody wish. There you are, Landebert. Have you given any thought to my proposal? Yeah! He just yeets out of here. There he goes, towards the gate of Thal. Go and claim your prize for coin and country. I think you misunderstand my intentions, my friend. I understand you are slighted, but that was not my original intention. Alright, so let's see, where is this person going? It's just going to be easier if we exit out of the area as we were. So we'll just continue our little adventure and run towards the exit over here. Distraught Lass. I believe that's to unlock the Red Mage quest, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, and we will mount up here just real quick so that... Oh, yes! Headphones going on, music's blaring, and I feel good. Unfortunate, we can't listen to the whole song. We have to continue on with our quest. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Sedation? Treason? Revolution? That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Ul'dah? You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None! No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a coherent arse about politics. It was business, only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. That was a damn good shot, I'll tell him that much, huh? God, Jesus. What's all this commotion? Seven hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. So someone is actually pulling the strings behind that merchant. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhaps we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Thank you. At least someone appreciates the work we're doing here. Alright, we didn't get Boreas, so unfortunately we can't continue to listen to the song. But I'm just going to turn around here and go into the steps of Nald. Hopefully we can report to Swift some news and he'll give us something good in return. Though I doubt it. Things aren't looking too good. We're really not making that much headway into this case. It seems like every step we take, we go 2 steps back. Alright, where are we? I just need to get my bearings. If I go this way, we'll hit the Grand Company and the Aetherites. Okay. I rarely ever exit outside of the main gates, so it's just like, okay, where am I? Am I by the Avenue Exchange? Am I somewhere else? It just takes me half a second. So used to using the Aetherite. Alright, let's go report our findings to Swift. What news, Nia? Where is the merchant? Murdered? Damned it all to 7th Hell. He was not simply murdered, Nia. He was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Well, I hope so. Please don't lie to me. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. I would love to continue figuring out this grand mystery that's ahead of us, but we're at the end of the episode for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode and are looking forward to tomorrow's, where we will discover more into what is going on with these riots and possibly who's behind it all, pulling the strings. Alright, y'all. I'll see you later. Peace out, and much love to you.